as a archaeology and anthropology professor at Longwood University, it's my job to train students, train the next generation of researchers in the methods of archival and archaeological, anthropological research. And the best way to do that is to be hands-on. I've been very fortunate in my career that I was entrusted by multiple mentors and faculty members over the years to participate in their research projects. And so that's the only way I know how to teach students, is to bring them on board early in the research process, or as early as I can, and show them what I intend to do, and then give them the flexibility to do the same kind of work that I'm doing.
I think the thing that sets the Institute of Archaeology at Longwood University apart from other programs is the depth of hands-on learning opportunities that we provide our students. I have a number of students who will be graduating with somewhere between 10 and 20 weeks of field research experience under their belt, which is unheard of for undergraduate programs. It's more typical for a graduate program. Throughout the field school, students are expected to continue to grow in their learning. The whole purpose of the field school is to teach people how to do field archaeology. So I don't expect that people know anything about field archaeology. What I'm looking for is growth, improvement over time, that they care about what they're doing, that they think about what we do in the field. They do this analysis for the day in their journal that kind of connects the dots. And I see as I read those journals that the ways in which people connect the dots gets mature in just a really short period of time. In just 3.5 or 4 weeks, you can see a great growth in how they're approaching the past.
Students who are interested in the advanced research program, they first have to complete their undergraduate field school. And at the conclusion of that field school, they have to apply to the program. And those who are successful applicants then get to join the field team here. And we begin right after field school is over, so it's a continuation of that program. And so they're just building on the skills that they first learned at field school, and now we're putting them into greater practice.
So last summer and then again this summer, I selected 10 students each summer to not pay tuition, rather, but get paid a research stipend to do research. Last summer, what that meant and what it will mean this summer is that they are going to take a research problem that I'm going to present them with. They're going to develop a research design to address that problem. They will then do the field data collection, the post-excavation analysis, and the writing of a technical report to explain what do we know at the end of the project that we didn't know when the project started. The research opportunities that I've been working on most recently with students involve work through my National Science Foundation funded grant. I've been able to involve students in examining various aspects of the late woodland Amerindian sites that I've been excavating in the region. Some of that research has involved looking at, for instance, prehistoric pipes to see what different pipe styles that people were using and making can tell us about their interactions with other cultures. And we're getting some really interesting data out of that. That's suggesting that there is a really long-distance trade and exchange network at play, which was not what people had previously thought. And I'm really proud there's undergraduates who are helping to answer that question. And I even have undergraduates who are publishing in peer review journals, which is a really unique thing at the undergraduate level to be able to have done.
I was selected along with my colleague Megan Shipe, and we were selected to do some research at a site called, well, we're not doing research at the site, we're doing research on artifacts from a site called Ayrville, that's on the eastern shore in Virginia. My research was to further corroborate basically the methods that were used to date the pipes. I ended up taking a huge sample of pipes. I want to say it was around 2,000 pipes that I ended up testing. And so we took that data and we determined what the age of our sample was using all that mean data. And that went into a paper that I was writing over the fall of 2020. I was a junior by then, and the research in my paper was then presented at the MAC conference of spring 2021.
So during the academic year, I get to teach a class that I developed called the Archaeology of Virginia that draws on the long tradition of archaeological research in Virginia of both native peoples as well as enslaved Africans and European descended peoples.
Last fall, I went on a weekend field trip with Dr. Castro for his Archaeology in Virginia course. And there was a day where we toured Jamestown and Williamsburg and their ongoing excavations that they had. And then that Saturday we did shovel test pits at the Whole Springs Farm house, and because we were trying to see if there was any sort of, I think they had previous knowledge that there may have been a Native American occupation there. So we were doing shovel test pits to see if there was anything there.
So I teach this course called the Mound Builders of the Southeastern United States, and it's a hands-on learning opportunity where we, over spring break, occasionally over Christmas, but more often over spring break, we hop in a Longwood minibus and we drive around the southeastern United States looking at mound culture sites.
One of the things I did was with a course on Indian mounds, and we went to Town Creek Indian Mound, and we were able to see kind of that public history type stuff, look through a museum and physically see things that we were reading about and discussing about in class, and see a recreation of that at the site.
I was recently given the opportunity to look at a family archive of documents and photographs and other materials related to how that island was, Guana Island in the British Virgin Island, was acquired by a family in the 1920s, and how they developed it first as a club, and more recently it's been developed into a resort. And so I took a couple of students, Quincy Urban and Abby Wright, to Portland, Oregon, where this family currently lives. They previously lived in the Virgin Islands for 40 years. They relocated to North America in the 1970s, and when they did that, they took with them their 40-year archive of photographs and documents. And we had access to that archive, and we spent a week scanning all the photographs, scanning all the documents, and hopefully this will materialize into a new research project that focuses on this really interesting 20th century history of the Virgin Islands. It's really only recently begun to be researched. Bringing students into the field, bringing students into archives, bringing students into the research process is at the core of what we do as faculty members. And so we can teach basics in the classroom, but the hands-on research is something that you only get in a field or archive setting. And so I'm excited about bringing students into future research projects because, well, first of all, it's just a lot of fun to be around Longwood students, but also they do a really good job with the research. In the short time I've been in Longwood, 3 years, I only have great things to say about the student researchers I've brought into the field. So I'm really excited about what the future holds for future research opportunities.